Good afternoon, everybody. I wasn't going to post a video today, but today I have had several phone calls from people that I know personally asking me what is going on with Russia and Ukraine, and are we all going to die? Well, my sense is that no, we're not. However, I have meditated and I do have some messages to relay. So I'm going to do things a little bit differently today. I've separated the Tarot of Mystical Moments between Major and Minor Arcana cards. I'm going to pull the Major Arcana cards one for Ukraine, one for Russia, possibly one for the rest of the world, the parts of the world that were getting involved in this conflict right now. And then I will do a wisdom of the oracle card, see how the reading goes. And I think I'm going to pull a Keepers of the Light oracle today to change things up, but I do feel as though we are needing some light right now. So because of that, I've lit my candle for the Ukraine and the rest of the world. The cards have been cleansed with sound and I'm ready to go. So I'm just going to shuffle these major arcana cards. I'm going to pull one for the Ukraine. My sense today is that on the Russian side, there is a fear that the security of Russia and the leadership in Russia is at stake here. Feeling very, very stuck in the root chakra. I did see red, which is the colour of the root chakra. The root chakra is about stability and security. So my message for that is that maybe Russia and the leadership in Russia is feeling as though their security right now is being threatened. So I'm going to pull a card for Russia and see which tarot card comes out from the Major Arcana only. And the reason why I'm doing that is because the Major Arcana signals the prerequisite for the rest of them. The Minor Arcana make up the Major Arcana are like the bones, and the Minor Arcana is the meat that goes around it. Now two flipped out, so which one's for Ukraine? That one. So for the Ukraine, no surprise, we've got the Tower clinging on to, in this Tower card, we've got a woman clinging on to an old structure that's falling to bits. A bolt from the blue, an explosion. So this isn't surprising me at all. This is quite sentimental in a way. You've got a woman quite sentimentally clinging on to something that is crumbling. And we know right now that Russia have moved in to Ukraine and bombs have been deployed. So at the moment, Ukraine's in this devastated condition. Usually, excuse me, usually with the tower signals the crumbling of an old structure or a bolt from the blue, something that's going to fall. But when things fall, it usually symbolises, sort of signals being able to rebuild. So at the moment, I mean, this isn't surprising me at all that Ukraine have the tower. It's a tower moment, and this is quite devastating and destructive. I don't know what else to say about that. I might have to do some minor ones. And with Russia, we've got the Fool. And I'm not surprised here either. The Fool in the traditional tarot weight deck is a young person just with a few belongings and a knapsack, stepping out onto his journey of life, very, very naive. And here we have this foolish person with not much information, doesn't really know what they're getting themselves into. Looks like they stood on a sturdy path. In actual fact, they're stood on a crocodile. This crocodile is disguised as an easy path. Everything in the garden's rosy. It makes me wonder whether Russia is about to experience a surprise of their own, one that they haven't anticipated. So I'm going to get a minor arcana card for Ukraine. On this tower card for the Ukraine, the roof's blown. I heard the lid's blowing off. Now, where I come from, when you've blown your stack, you have, or when the lid's gone, it means that you have really lost your temper and it's a don't mess with me type situation. So I'm feeling the anger of this tower card right now. I'm feeling the anger of it. I don't know whether you are. You could perhaps tell me in the comments. But I'm feeling that Ukraine is about to blow their stack. Flip the lid. Flip the lid. That's what I'm, thank you. That's what I'm reaching for. They are about to flip their lid. I seriously feel that there is a very strong will in the Ukraine to fight back, to fight fire with fire. And I think, judging by this major arcana card for Russia, I think that they may well have underestimated the fury and the will and the wherewithal of the Ukrainian people to hold their own. Let's get them. I want a minor arcana card for Ukraine. Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands. Right. In the traditional Knight of Wands deck, every time I see it, I would see it as a sort of player energy in love. But this is someone who's willing to jump through fire in order to, and it's fast. So I think if there is going to be any retaliation, it will be quick, and they will be willing to jump through fire any means necessary, and they will take that, and they will go to the, they won't have a second thought. They will go to where the fire is, and they will fight fire with fire. Let's have a look at Russians. What's going on with Russia and the Fool? I hope I'm right with this. I've got two. I've got the Six of Pentacles and I've got the Page of Cups, and it came out that way. So let me look at it first. So the Page of Cups is always an apology to me for some reason. And on the Russia side, it's almost like there will be some sort of reconciliation, some sort of amicable solution with a third party. Could be America, could be Britain, even be an amalgamation of forces or leaders outside of Ukraine and Russia, where whatever they are going to, whatever terms they're going to agree with, it's almost like it will be amicable, like an equal share. So whatever it is that Russia's going into Ukraine for, which clearly is land and the old getting the old USSR back, which from what I can gather is what Putin is after. He's harking back to the old days where the USSR was this great nation that had all these different countries all under its banner. It's almost like we're going to have this, they're going to have this. Don't underestimate me. We will fight fire with fire. Putin won't realise, or doesn't realise, that he's playing with fire. But in the end, it looks like there's going to be some sort of evening it out, some sort of balance restored, and some sort of apology made. I really hope this is really this right. But the Page of Cups is looking at the Fool. So perhaps the Ukraine will apologise to Russia for something. I don't know what, because I'm a historian. But my expertise is Nazi Germany, not Russia. And so we've got two for Russia. We have the King of Swords, and we have the King of Wands. So we've got I think what's happening here is that Putin doesn't realise what he's got himself into, but he's a thinking person. He is able to think his way out of this. I believe he's a Libra. I'm not sure if he is or not, but I believe he's a Libra. In which case he's able to weigh up the odds. He's able to be diplomatic. He's also able to be quite stern and sturdy. But he knows he's able to make a good judgment on his position and end up being quite diplomatic, but in a forceful kind of way, because he's the king. And we've got the King of Wands, female version of the King of Wands. Now, King of Wands is about, he's got a good intuition on this. So once this battle starts raging and Ukrainian people start fighting back with the help of other nations, Ukraine may end up apologising to Russia for something. But I'm sensing an apology coming. The King of Wands is quite intuitive, quite fiery, and quite creative. So because there's the two kings, he's able to be discerning, he's able to be diplomatic, he's able to think in a balanced way, very clear-headed, very clear-headed. He can also be quite creative and fiery when he needs to be. I'm going to take, I think I'm going to take another major arcana for an overall. What is going to happen? I would like to know what the result of this is. I'm not feeling like this is World War III. I'm not feeling as though we're all going to die. I think this is a very personal very personal battle. And Putin is quite emboldened at the moment. But I'm not sure he realises the full extent yet of what he's getting. I don't think anybody realises the full extent and the capability of the Ukrainian forces, army, ordinary people to fight back. But they are going to fight back in quite a powerful way. And we've got the Emperor. So the overall outcome is the Emperor. And I don't see this as one side or the other. This is quite 14th century Louis, really. But this Emperor has got people on a string. It looks like enslavement. But he hasn't got everybody on it. I don't know if you can see this. He's got 8 people dangling from a string. The rest of the people are free. This is Putin, and this is... He's got what certain countries want, and they will dance to his tune in order to get it. This isn't about Ukraine. This is about certain countries in the world that need Putin right now, need Putin, need Russia, to the point where they will allow themselves to be shackled in order to continue to get what they get from Russia. That's very interesting. Very interesting. So if I'm right, Ukraine will fight back, and all the bluster from certain first world countries that are denouncing Putin for his invasion, it's just... it's all talk. Because Putin and Russia have what these countries need. Now, we all know Germany is fully reliant on Russia for gas. I'm not sure where we stand on that, but I'm sure indirectly the UK, to a degree, is reliant on Russia. There's a lot of Russian money laundering coming out of London. It's been going on for decades. There are British politicians in the pockets of Russian oligarchs. Maybe they're the people on the other end of the leash. So they will dance to his tune. I believe Ukraine are pretty much on their own. But there is fire and brimstone in these people. They have the will, they have the capability, and they will jump through hoops of fire to remain as they are. Why we have to have wars in order to settle things like this. I don't know. So let's have a wisdom of the oracle. For Ukraine. I have serendipity. Number 18. Let me have a read of it then. I'm not getting anything from it. Serendipity. You've stepped into alignment with the greater good, where your dreams and the collective dream resonate in exquisite harmony. Now is the time for luck and preparation to meet and create miracles that you could never have planned all by yourself. Keep in mind that you are a channel for providence right now, as a higher energy uses you as a force on behalf of the whole world. Your fortune becomes everyone's fortune. Everything you bring into being now will leave a wondrous legacy for others in the future. Your service to the world is being supported at this time. Expect the unexpected and smile, for Spirit loves you so very much. Right. So this is telling me that not only are Ukraine essentially on their own in this, if they are successful in keeping Russia away from annexing Ukraine, that will send a message to the rest of the world and the other parts, like former parts of the USSR, that if they can do it, everybody else can do it. Because I believe he's already annexed Chechnya a while back. Everything you bring into being now will leave a wondrous legacy for others in the future. So it will give hope to other former USSR states if Putin comes crashing through their borders. Do you have another one? Let's have another one. We've got Never-Ending Story, number 37. Very interesting. 1 and 8 is 9. 3 and 7 is 10. Almost at the end. Endings. 10's about endings. Never-ending story. There is a story woven through the imperfect fabric of life that tells of hurt and loss, rejection and humiliation, self-loathing and arrogance, and all manner of suffering born of unnecessary dramas. It is the old story whose refrain is that you cannot do this, must not go there, should not say that, lest your world come crumbling down. Today, know that none of this is actually true. The sky is not falling. The voice you hear is just a small, scared, conditioned part of you that got stuck in a lie, wants to protect you, and needs to be seen as a victim. Love that lost piece of you. Fear is all it knows. Distorted guidance is preventing you from being true to yourself. You are not your story, and the narrator is simply the voice of your fearful part, small and vulnerable and easily soothed. Right, so basically that's saying don't be afraid, because if you do this, this is going to potentially free other parts of the world that Russia may seek to annex in the future. This is about, don't allow your self-doubt to creep in. You can do this. Ukraine, you can do this. You can do this. Right. I'm going to do a Keepers of the Light Oracle and see if we can have a light message. What's the message today? The overall message for peace for Ukraine. Okay. I'm not even doing it. I've been told to take this one. White Eagle, Ancestor Spirit. It says, connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed now. White Eagle. I'm going to read it because I know I'm not going to do it all justice if I just say it off the top of my head. So I'm going to read it. White Eagle, where are you? White Eagle. White Eagle. I'll read it all about White Eagle as well, and then you'll learn something about him. White Eagle is a Native American shaman who is dedicated to honouring our spiritual heritage. He is a world-renowned spiritual guide who has been particularly cherished by mediums all over the world. He first spoke through a medium called Grace Cook in the early 20th century. He is the guide who helps create clear channels in our bloodline, our spiritual lineage, so we can access the heart of the Creator. He also helps us move into sacred ceremony, where we can hold sacred space to honour a change, transition, celebration, or anything else that deserves time. He is wonderful for clearing space, and we can call upon him for help in forging spiritual connections. Take some time to honour just how far you have come. Recognising through ceremony and ritual the shifts in your awareness. Healing and journey really allows you to move into a state of grace and gratitude. You have or have recently had an opportunity to heal an old family wound or pattern. It's important to connect with your family in spirit so you can set a new energy of love in place. White Eagle is bringing your ancestors through to you and allowing you to know that they are happy and well. He is sounding his sacred drums to clear your spirit. So maybe this war in Ukraine is an opportunity to heal old wounds. And if that is the case, be rest assured that your ancestors, those that came before you, and I'm speaking to people in Ukraine right now, are with you every step of the way. I believe that Putin isn't expecting much of a retaliation to his aggression. Let's hope that it's just mainly bluster. I know the tanks have gone in. I know the bombs have dropped. I know everybody says that we are expecting full-blown war in the Ukraine. But from what I've seen, the people of Ukraine have the will. They have the wherewithal, and they have the heart to take on the mighty bear. I think I'm going to do a postcard from Spirit. I wasn't going to, but I feel I need to just say one more thing, and I'm going to say it through these postcards this afternoon. I have sent Reiki to the Ukraine this morning. I have meditated for peace for the Ukraine this morning. And I will continue to send my love and my light to the people of Ukraine. And if you watched my video on Canada, sometimes the Trudeaus and the Putins of this world come along to gel people together in love, in community spirit. It's not their intention in their minds, but quite often these things make people realise just what really is important. It's not a very nice way of doing it, and I pray that if there are any casualties, that they will be very few on both sides, because everyone who dies in war has a mother, a father, maybe children, family, friends. Oh, that was quick. Dear you, there is always more than one side to an argument. Two sides, if not more. That's true with this situation. Two sides, if not more, to every story, and hundreds of ways to be right, be different, be at odds, and so on. Today, we suggest that instead of looking for differences, you find a meeting place of agreement and approach this experience with understanding and compassion. Seek common ground to understand how another person thinks or how an alternative plan might be laid. Stay out of judgment too. Observe, discern, but accept that others have different stories, experiences and journeys, and some people might refuse to remain open to others' point of view. No matter what, you've been presented with the great opportunity to explore a new way of doing things once common ground is reached. You're attracting people and situations that enrich your life and bring you wonderful things to learn. So even the act of war can bring wonderful things to learn. Two sides of the story. He is hoping that Russia and the Ukraine can sit around the table, come to some amicable compromise and avert full-blown war. Take care. Remember to be kind, even to the people who you feel are only there to cause you grief. Have compassion today. All my love to the Ukraine.